Okay. Hello, everybody. That's way too high. Sorry. Is that gonna work? Still too high. Okay, we'll try with this. Okay, so this is the update. I had said that surgery wasn't gonna happen until, well, sometime in September. I wasn't gonna have an appointment until September 3rd. But I had a phone call from my doctor's office Monday to set up pre-op Monday the 19th and surgery Monday the 26th. So I was kind of caught off guard, but rolled with it. I ended up actually going in today, so Friday, the 16th. And I have my pre-op today. So surgery is Monday the 26th. I have my pre-op today. This video is going to just talk about what those symptoms were that led to the discovery of the reoccurrence, because that's the only missing piece between the last surgery and the upcoming surgery. And it's something that I know people are concerned about. It's one of the common questions that has come up on the Facebook group, like, what were your symptoms when it came back? So after I got the catheter out at 3 weeks, I had leaking. And at first I thought it was just leaking from my bladder not being used to not being on a catheter, because, you know, you're on a catheter for a few weeks. So my doctor checked in with me at 6 weeks. It was originally just going to be a telehealth call. And he was like, well, how are you doing? And I told him about the leaking. And he was like, okay, I think we need to bring you in. We need to take a look. So he was concerned. I mentioned in the other video that I had developed this thing called a fistula, which is, he said he's still concerned, but so far it hasn't proven, like, they didn't identify it on the MRI. So even though he's still concerned, it doesn't so far appear to be the case. So I had initially just leaking that was an odd mix. So it was the random leaks specifically that he was concerned about, the leaks that had no rhyme or reason. I would tell him that I would just be standing at the sink and I would just feel it go, just leak. And it wasn't the kind of leaking that, oh, I coughed or I was running or lifting, which I wasn't lifting at that point. I hadn't gotten the clearance yet, but it wasn't anything that seemed tied to stress or urge incontinence. So he ran some tests and he was like, okay, let's, I hate to do this, but I think we should put the catheter back in. So this was at 6 weeks. I'd been off the catheter for 3 weeks. So we put it back in. We went 2 more weeks. He took it back out. And then he's like, okay, go enjoy the holidays. I will follow up with you in January and we'll see where things sit. He asked me to keep a bladder log so I could track, the leaks. So I did that. Had a great holidays, no pain. Started having a little bit of pain come back. I want to say it was beginning of January. I don't remember having any pain over the holidays. So I go to the appointment in January and he looked at the bladder log. I want to say he did a cystoscopy, whatever. I'll be honest, I don't remember. He might have made another appointment for it. So we ended up doing another cystoscopy. He did a, sorry, I need some water. He did what's called a, oh God, I don't remember. It's an x-ray with the dye, but it's not the standard one. He has to modify it because we don't have the equipment up here. So he basically kind of, you know, does a modification where you lay down, he injects the dye, he does the x-ray, and sees where the dye goes. So nothing definitive shows up. He says, I really can't say for sure. I can't say for sure if there's a fistula. I can't say for sure if it's reoccurred. It did hurt when he did the cystoscopy and pushed around, and that's when he was like, we're just gonna get an MRI. You know, I can't tell. He did see a divot that kind of looked like a reoccurrence. He just really seemed frustrated with it, and I can understand his point. We did the MRI in February, and like I had just gotten back to the office from the MRI, and I got the phone call from his clinic saying he wanted to set up a telehealth the next day. So I knew, and sure enough, the night, you know, he called and he confirmed, yes, the MRI says it's back. He did not want to do surgery right away. He wanted to do this vaginal primering cream for at least 2 months to make the tissues more robust and more healthy, because I have been in I went into surgical menopause. Now it's just menopause, right? I had a hysterectomy. They took everything out. I went into surgical menopause. That's what kicked all of this off. So the tissues don't do as well after you're in menopause. So even though I'm on hormone replacement therapy, it has to be low dose because my hysterectomy was for cancer concerns. So he was like, let's do 2 months of the primering cream. Let's make those tissues healthier. And I further said, I got to wait even longer because I have stuff going on. So that was the symptoms, really. It was just the weird leaking. I did end up getting pain coming back. He had me do pelvic floor physical therapy, and I started that. I want to say I started in March, and by April I had really high pain levels again. So he and I had another call, and he said, just, you know, stop the pelvic floor physical therapy until after surgery. So since then, symptoms have been pretty much the random leaking. I definitely have stress, incontinence because of the surgery. That is a risk, unfortunately, that is just there. He said that the surgery, when they get in there, something, I'm not a doctor, something with the muscles, with how they cut, it weakens them, and you have to go back through pelvic floor physical therapy to strengthen them if you develop that complication. So I'm not a doctor. I'm going to do my best not to use concrete language when I can't remember, and I can't remember the exact mechanics, but I was really curious about it because I'd asked, I didn't have stress incontinence before surgery. What is it about surgery that creates this complication? And it's something to do with the surgery weakens the pelvic floor muscles, basically. Anyway, so I had my pre-op today instead of Monday. Hi, you want? Come here, you want to sit in my lap? No? Okay. Sorry, my baby wants attention. So had my pre-op today. We had a really good conversation. This is my second time, and he is concerned because if it comes back after this, like every time it reoccurs, the odds that it's going to reoccur just keep going up. So he's really concerned. And he's also concerned that he may end up causing more damage than what he fixes, because right now my pain levels are not consistently high. Before, they were consistently high. So it's kind of like before there wasn't much choice. Like I was really miserable. But this time around, it's more of the incontinence. But I did talk to him about that, because the leaking is really frustrating. But I can't sit comfortably a lot of the time on any hard surface. You know, I'm sitting on a pillow in my chair. I have that really nice Peloton bike, and I actually have tried to use it the past couple weeks, and it really causes the pain to go up. So he said that he is comfortable doing the surgery, but you know, I told him if he gets in there and he doesn't feel comfortable, the plan is he will abort and I will have to go to Seattle for a specialist. So knock on wood, that doesn't happen. I've had to travel for surgery once before. It is not fun. It's not something I want to do again. So I don't know if I'm going to film in the hospital, because we are military. It is on base, and I'm trying not to cross things that I shouldn't cross. I don't know, like I might ask if they're comfortable with me filming in just our little area, because the PACU in the pre-op area, I guess, there are curtains, but there are other people there, and I don't want to be obnoxious. So I will definitely film in the car before we go in, and I am going to be staying overnight just like last time, because he doesn't like to send you home with packing, which is something that you get, and he will take it out that next morning, and then I get to go home. So I may have a roommate, so I may not film also when I'm in the hospital room. If I don't have a roommate, potentially I would film something just to say, yeah, here it is, day of surgery, here it is the day after surgery. You know, it wasn't really bad last time. The catheter is the worst. There is a chance though, and I joked with him that it's gonna be kind of like Christmas morning when I wake up, because I don't know if he's going to be successful or if he's going to have to abort. So there's a chance, he said, or I asked about it. I was like, if you have to abort, am I necessarily going to have to be on a catheter then? And he's like, it depends on how far he gets. So we shall see. There is one piece of equipment that I have to recommend for people going through surgery. This is, it's called a leg lock. It's for the catheter tube. Let me grab it. So there is also urinary supplies that the hospital should send you home with if you have a catheter. Extra catheters, you should get an extra leg, like depending on how long you're going to be on a catheter, they should be able to give you extra leg bags and extra night bags, because you use a different bag for the night than you do for the day. The days are really tiny, and you do not want to be, I would actually say, you really probably should just stick on the night bag unless there's something going on, because the day bag does not hold very much. But you want extras so you can clean them and stay clean, and it's just kind of gross. But anyway, this, so this is a leg lock, and it's adhesive. So you peel it, you stick it to your leg, and then, this wraps around the tube, and it's, so see how it does that? And it is Velcroed like that. So it's super cool, very convenient, and it keeps that catheter tube from pulling and feeling really uncomfortable. The other thing that I really found super useful, you don't have to use it, those postpartum mesh underwear, like they'll send you home with them probably. But I brought extras, and it's so they go past the groin, I don't know, your hip crease down almost like, you know, boy shorts, which is kind of funny. And it kind of like keeps the tube again from being jerked and moving. When that tube gets jerked and yanked and stuff, it doesn't feel good. So I would recommend the leg locks, the postpartum mesh underwear. You can get both of these things on Amazon. They are different costs for different, honestly, I think they're all just generic brands that are same. But I will put links to the 2 sets that I just ordered for the leg locks and the underwear. Those are really only the 2 things that I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have those in stock before this next surgery. So other than that, I will update you the day of surgery and the days after, and if it gets aborted and I have to go to Seattle, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm just going to hope for the best. Anyway, cut this short. If you have questions, let me know. I didn't go into a whole lot of details. I just wanted to cover what those symptoms were that led to it being identified as, oh, hey, I'm back. I reoccurred. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and I will post day of surgery. Bye.